Hello and welcome to Furry Face Off. I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
And today we're going to be taking two of the hottest furry movies of 2022 and putting them up against each other to decide what's going to be the hottest furry movie of 2022.
Dun dun dun.
And in this episode we're going to be taking a look at Turning Red, a very popular Disney movie right now, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, just a bit.
And we're also going to be looking at Dreamworks' alternative, The Bad Guys.
Two completely different types of film with two completely different types of people interested in them.
Which, from I understand at the time of us shooting this, has just about come out in America.
Yeah.
So I guess it's safe to say spoiler alert for both of these movies.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at these movies over 5 different categories, each of us giving the films a score out of 5 for each one, and Camera Bird's going to be very kindly taking a total. And at the end, the film with the highest total is going to be our furry film winner.
Round 1. Fight!
So, the obvious place to start is, of course, with the plot.
Yep.
Turning Red. What can we say? It's
a coming of age for a film, basically, isn't it? About a girl who's basically going through puberty and using the anachronism of
everything else with it, you know. It's quite a relatable story. I think
It is.
that's one of the things I have heard from the people who watched the movie. I've had several people say they cried watching it because they could really feel it.
I mean, I think the idea of it is it's meant to be about girls growing up and going into puberty, but also it works very well for a furry who's coming out and understanding himself as being a furry.
But obviously, at the same time, you do have to argue it's a little predictable. Both you and Regda, when we watched this, said, "Oh, I bet that happens," and you were 100% right. It did happen.
It's true, but on the opposite side, with the bad guys, it's a kind of a heist plot, so it kind of has to have twists in it.
Yes,
otherwise
so
it doesn't work.
Little less easy to predict. I must admit, one of the twists I did see coming.
We both came up with one of the major twists. We both whispered it to each other, and we were dead on.
I'd say it's faster paced.
It is faster paced. I would say near the end of the film, the plot twists come more thicker and faster.
Yeah, between the two of them, I do feel like Bad Guys might have kind of achieved more in its sort of hour and a half, 2 hour slot. And not that Turning Red doesn't do a lot, but I feel Bad Guys is moving a bit faster. It's got better pacing, and I'll say, I think it's probably a little bit funnier too.
I mean, in typical fashion, I'd say that the DreamWorks one works. It concentrates more on energy, quick pacing, and story, whereas Turning Red, in typical Pixar kind of sort of fashion, concentrates on emotions and psychological stuff, and basically on about like. So, what are you gonna
give it out of 5? I think for me, Turning Red, I think Turning Red gets a 3. It's a very solid movie. And I'm going to give Bad Guys, I'm actually going to give Bad Guys a 4, I think. It is the better one of the two.
I would say I'm going to give Turning Red a 4.
Okay.
Because I personally like Turning Red's story. And I'm going to give Bad Guys a 5, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't see a couple of the twists coming, and in a film like that, that's really unusual. So I was actually very, very happy with Bad Guys.
Okay, round 1 to the Bad Guys there, I guess.
Round 2. Fight!
So, acting. Now, obviously, these are animated movies, so, actual maybe character animations.
There were obviously there's a lot of motion capture involved.
But, we're going to talk about the voices more, I think, than, I'm going to look at who was in the cast. Now, Turning Red, I would probably say lesser on the big names. You had Sandra Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had Sandra Oh. You had quite a few, actually, but they were, lesser to the Western.
Yeah, but it was good that they actually got Asian talent in to play Asian roles.
And it works, and it comes across really well, too.
And given that, I think we actually looked it up, a lot of the cast hasn't done very much.
No.
The acting skills they had. So, Bad Guys then rocks in. It's got a lot bigger names. So it's got Sam Rockwell, it's got Richard Ayoade. I'm very partial to a bit of Richard Ayoade.
Well, me too. We love Richard Ayoade.
The
only thing was missing was Matt Berry, really.
No, they got him in the SpongeBob movie instead.
That's true. He did.
But I must admit, they're good voices. They do fit really well. I didn't think Richard Ayoade was going to work as the bad guy either.
No, he does actually change his voice slightly, doesn't he, for this? I mean,
slightly, it's still him.
It's still him, but it does make him feel a little different.
The tarantula is apparently some internet star. This is how out of touch I am.
I didn't know any. I know what you mean. I remember seeing that.
We're really out of touch here. But hey, we're on TikTok. That counts as being in touch. Huh? Follow us on TikTok. Anyway, so I think there's that. So I'm seeing it like Turning Red was, people starting out. Bad Guys is people who have
established.
Yeah,
mostly established.
How do we rate that?
I think I know which way you're gonna go.
I'm gonna be fair here. I'm actually gonna give them both of them a 4.
Really? Okay.
I think it's too hard for me to split them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you got a very young actress for Turning Red, and she's very good. So, I'm actually going to give it, myself personally, I'm going to give Turning Red a higher score.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give Turning Red a 4, and Bad Guys a 3.
Round 3. Fight!
Now, this is a really big part of an animated movie, the animation. So, both films have both very different styles.
Yeah, one's a very kind of more Steven Universe, very fast-paced, very quick.
Very cute, very cartoonish.
And the other one, although it's very quick still, is more comic book style.
Oh yeah, definitely.
More comic book.
It felt like they took a standard CGI movie and then they just animated over the top of it.
Yeah.
And I really, really loved that. I mean, yes, Turning Red, which describes itself for the record as chunky and bright, which I would 100%
Well, it's all very
with it.
pastel shaped, very bright pastel shades.
Look at the panda. The panda is definitely chunky.
Yeah.
And there's some, but Bad Guys was just, the moment we started watching, I was like, this looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I like that effect they did with the eyes, where everybody's eyes are two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Even though the rest of the body isn't, and it really works. It's almost Beastars like.
It's colourful, it's very tastefully animated. It also gets pointed to having a really hot wolf.
Yeah, he does get that.
Let's address the
wolf in the room.
I was going to say,
Well, I personally think that, you got to give it a score first.
True. So I'm going to give Turning Red a 3.
Yeah.
It felt it's a Pixar film. It's not like other Pixar films look. It's very competent. It's a nice movie. Design-wise, I just think, compared to The Bad Guys, I'm going to give The Bad Guys a 5, because I think The Bad Guys actually brought something very much new to the table and did more with it. I'm
going to give Turning Red... I love the editing style of Turning Red. I think I really did love the, again, Steven Universe style.
The expressions alone were also very good.
They were
very quick, instant kind of...
Yeah,
almost slightly Peanuts-esque style, with the mouths being really big. So I kind of lean towards that one a bit more. So I'm going to give Turning Red a more generous... I think I'll give that one a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give Bad Guys 4 out of 5 as well. I'm trying to decide whether or not it's a 3 or a 4. But again, they both have such fantastic styles. They're very different, but I do like both of them.
Round 4. Fight!
So, you've got to talk music for movies. Sometimes you don't realise it's there. A good soundtrack doesn't get in the way of the film.
Nope.
And sometimes the soundtrack is part of the film. And I think it's safe to say, in the case of Turning Red, you can't talk about Turning Red without talking about Four Town, the fictitious boy band, which...
This has done so well, it's actually in the charts now, isn't it?
It was on Apple Music. It's made us all rediscover NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, so that's always a good thing, Oh, get over it.
Looking at you, Truck.
It's my 90s childhood as well.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm listening to Steps or S Club 7.
No.
Yes.
Help me.
It's a really good soundtrack, and this is it's beautifully done. The actual cinematic score, aside from Four Town, is really nice. It's got that great Chinese influenced kind of sound.
It combines Chinese with 2000.
Yeah.
It's a 2000 score with China kind of old-fashioned influences, which is just, frankly, completely out there. I love it to pieces.
Yeah. I mean, I like listening to movie soundtracks. Nothing beats a bit of Hans Zimmer and The Dark Knight, for example, for me. This is one that is on my rotation. I do listen to the soundtrack for Turning Red. Then we talk about The Bad Guys. Now, The Bad Guys is more your traditional movie. It's got your standard sort of theatrical score. It has actually got a cover of, I was reading anyway, of a band called The Heavies' Brand New Day. I'm not overly familiar with
I can't remember that one.
I know one of their tracks, but it was a good soundtrack. It did have its moments.
It had some nice tunes in there.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
there was a bit where they're all playing in a dance scene, and that was really nicely done.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's not bad. It's just not Turning Red.
No, it's not memorable.
And this is Turning Red blows it out of the way.
Yeah.
I will also say 4 Town songs. I've looked at the chords for them on guitar.
Oh yeah, they're like 4 chords, aren't they?
They're literally 3 to 4 chords all the way through.
Wow. So they're quite simple.
Them in 10 seconds.
So,
expect a cover soon, maybe.
Turning Red, really good soundtrack. Not quite Hans Zimmer good, if you ask me. So I'm going to have to give Turning Red.
Hans Zimmer.
Of course. I think that gets a 4 from me.
Okay.
And The Bad Guys, I'm going to give a 3.
I'm actually going to be a little bit worse now. I'm going to say I wasn't really interested in the soundtrack for Bad Guys, so I'm going to give Bad Guys soundtrack a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I wasn't that bothered.
Oh, that's fine.
And I'm going to give Turning Red soundtrack a good solid 4.
Final round. Fight.
So, the last thing we have to talk about these movies is their kind of influence on the fandom, and of course the fan art we've all seen on Twitter and every other
furry website, yes.
And well, let's start with Turning Red. We have seen quite a lot of artwork for Turning Red. Some really, really wholesome stuff. Yeah. And some absolutely fantastic memes. There's been memes out of years. Yeah, the Awooga thing I think has captured everyone. And this is what I like about it, is you can always relate to the Turning Red meme.
Yeah.
Because the film was relatable. And then on the other side of the coin, of course, you've got The Bad Guys.
Which is just a grab bag of
but yes, because we could talk about...
Every character has a different fan base, let's put it that way.
Yes, and the range of The Bad Guys, obviously because of the movie type it is, allows it to kind of maybe indulge a little bit more into the furry world.
Boy.
Yeah, there's some artwork.
Really?
There's quite a lot of artwork that I'm having to pixelate if I wanted to show it in this video right now.
Or worse.
The After Dark artwork side of The Bad Guys, for example. Let's just say they're called The Bad Guys for a reason. Dreamworks encouraged it by holding a contest on Twitter for people to send in fan art. I mean, that just got, I think, every furry artist
pin out of grenade and throw.
That's an absolute genius marketing move.
That was an anime pen to the sky camera looking down kind of.
So, I think Turning Red, lovely wholesome memes and some very cute artwork.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a 4. I'm gonna be good there. Mm-hmm. Bad Guys. Actually, you know what? No, change that. I'm changing it to a 3. Because I think I need to make a difference between the two here. I'm going to be controversial. Turning Red, 3. Bad Guys, 5. All the way. Definitely a 5 on that one.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The divergence of how much stuff there is in Bad Guys, including some nice of the female character as well, I'm going to have to say 5 as well, because it's amazing. Turning Red, I have seen some fantastic stuff. Again, like you said, some very lovely, wholesome stuff. I'm probably going to give it a 3.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Because I think I've seen some really lovely stuff. Again, it's been good for artists to kind of do the Steven Universe style. It works really well. So, yeah, I'd say 3.
And I'm going to go and give Bad Guys another fan point as well for the record, because I just remembered it has that Snapchat filter where you can pose with him.
Oh, yeah.
That gets a point. Add another point on for that one. We're breaking the rules here. I set the rules. I make the rules. I am the rules.
No, you're not.
So...
You are not,
okay. Let's find out who the winner is.
Results.
The scores are... In second place, with 36 points...
Ooh.
It's Turning Red.
Ooh.
With 41 points, it's the Bad Guys.
Oh, there we are. So we're revealing the ending there. So there we are. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not overly surprised. The Bad Guys is just that little bit better, if you ask me.
Just a little bit better. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They both make a fantastic furry evening.
Yeah, or if you do what we did, rent out a cinema screen.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
Great furry screen. That was really cool. Thanks to everyone who came on that one. And to showcase.
Thank you,
Stu.
Stu.
But yes, Not surprised. So, yeah, no, by all means, head to the cinema and watch Bad Guys if you haven't already. Or turn on the TV and watch Turning Red. You know which one's better from us. And there we go. So, yeah, that was the Furry Film Face Off, the first of them.
Very first one.
If you enjoyed this, let us know. We'd love to do more.
Yep.
Let us know what films you'd like to see us pit against each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do other furry things.
Yeah.
Games.
Furry death battle.
TV. You know, let's see. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that shiny notification bell to find out when new videos drop every week. If you'd like to support the channel further, we've got a Patreon, there's a link to that below, as well as a link to our merchandise store where you can buy Shadow Raccoon t-shirts.
And Theodore Rabbit t-shirts.
Get them in time for the summer, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye!